Hello, happy Monday. I'm Sarah McGuire from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today's card is this one here. We are talking about the Thanks a Bunch stamp set all week long. The Thanks a Bunch stamp set is free with a $50 purchase in my online store during Sale-A-Bration. You can select this stamp set for free. I'm going to be showing you projects all week long, giving you ideas on how to use this stamp set. Sale-A-Bration does end though February 28th. So if you wanted to get in on the best deal I've ever seen Stampin' Up! Have, their join special, or the exclusive host stamp set, or any of the awesome Sale-A-Bration items, you have until February 28th, so 8 days from today, not tomorrow, but next Tuesday, February 28th. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to get more videos from me. So like I said in the intro, this week we are talking about the Thanks a Bunch stamp set. Everything's coming up carrots all week long. I honestly was not thrilled with this stamp set when I first saw it, but I've been using it a ton and I actually really enjoy it. It's one of those things, I don't know if you've ever done this, where you see something in the catalog and you're like, eh, and then you see somebody use it or you use it yourself and you're like, how did I live without this? Like, I love this stamp set. I love the sentiments. I like the font a lot. And I really like this two-step stamping. So here is our card today. And we are going to be using the Thanks a Bunch stamp set. I'm going to be showing you how to get the detail on those carrots. This stamp set is a photopolymer stamp set. There are 19 stamps in here, and it is free with a $50 purchase in my online store. If you do purchase from my online store, be sure to use the February host code to get freebies from me. For every order, you will get 4 free card tutorials, and for $50 orders, you can get this stamp set or another $50 item, or a level 1 equals $50 item. And I'll also send you a pack of red rhinestones in March. So let's get started on our card. The first thing we're going to do is a little bit of stamping. So we're going to use the Everything's Coming Up carrot stamp and the solid stamp and the detailed stamp for the carrot, the leaf, and then this little greenery leafy thing. I like to call things leafy things because I don't know what they are. So let's grab our stamps out. Oops, I don't need that little baby carrot. I need that one. And then Everything's Coming Up carrots. Did I do anything? I did not do anything to the inside of this card, but I did find out during my VIP video yesterday that this bunch of carrots, when turned upside down, I don't know if you could see this, but when turned upside down, it looks like grass. So I used it for grass on the inside of yesterday's card. So let's put these on some black. So for these, I do recommend the H black because it is longer and it's easier to use. So we're going to use that. We're going to do our solid carrot first. Then I'm going to grab a B black for the leaf and a C black for our sentiment. So let's stamp our sentiment first. We have 2 colors here today, Cajun Craze and Old Olive. Cajun Craze, I will admit, is one of those colors I simply do not reach for. I forget it exists all the time. And actually, that is remnants from yesterday's grass down there. I didn't change my grid paper. Sometimes I just let it go for a while. So we are going to be die cutting this out. I'm actually going to turn my paper around. We're die cutting this out. So I want to kind of put it centered there. And actually, I'm just going to do one more just in case that gets cut off. We're going to do that just in case. All right. And then I'm going to grab my piece of basic white that measures 4.5 by 3.25. And we're going to start building like our scene on here. I'm just going to set that to the side. So we're going to start with our solid carrot. And this is a 2-step stamp set, which means 2 stamps create 1 image. So I'm going to ink this up in Cajun Craze. And then I'm just going to ink off onto my grid paper. And I'm going to do the first one. I'm going to do it slightly at an angle. And when you stamp off, you get that lighter color. So it's just 1 shade lighter. It's still Cajun Craze, but just a shade lighter. So we're going to do that again 2 more times. Stamp onto the grid paper. Turn that one a little bit. And 1 more. Stamp off. Perfect. So now I'm just going to clean my stamp really quick with my Stampin' Scrub. There's a wet side and a dry side. Just a spritz of Stampin' Mist. Scrub, dry it off, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to put that back in the case so I don't lose it. And then we can do our detail. Now for the detail, I'm basically going to do, I got a little mist on the block. I just rub it on my pants, honestly. We're going to do a little detail. For this, though, we're not going to stamp off. So I'm just going to go in full strength Cajun Craze. And the trick to this is this lines up perfectly with the right side of the carrot. And since these are photopolymer stamps, you can see right through them. But I like to line up the tip of the carrot down here with the stamp. And I find I get a better image that way. And it also helps to be directly over. I can already tell I'm slightly off, but I think it's okay. It also helps to be, for me, to be directly over. But I mean, otherwise I'd get my head in the camera. It's just kind of a mess. So, and I like to turn the carrot so they're straight up and down for me. It's just easier that way. That one's a little better. I'm going to do one more. Line it up, stamp. Great. Now we are done with the Cajun Craze, and we're going to go into the Old Olive. And we're basically going to do the same technique we did with the carrot. So I'm going to ink up my leaf in Old Olive. I forgot to get out the little spriggy-majig. And I'm going to stamp off onto my grid paper and then stamp it on to our cardstock. Stamp off. Oops, and see, with the photopolymers, I find it easy to just reline that up, push it down again, and get the rest of that ink on there. Sometimes the stamps get a little bit wobbly. I think I wobbled it a little bit, and that's what happened. I'm going to go like this, and it's okay to overlap them. We kind of want that look. And I also need the little spriggy piece, which I forgot to get. And I'll just grab a D block because it's handy for my spriggy piece. Now we're going to do the same thing we did with the detail on the carrots. I'm going in full strength. That's going to go off a little bit, but I'm okay with that. It's off the page a little. We're okay with that. I went up a little too high with my carrots on this one. That's all right. Oops, and I messed that one up, so I'm going to reline it up and push. Perfect. And now I can die cut out my piece, but let me make sure I don't have to restamp it again. So I have the Something Fancy dies here. This is part of a bundle in the mini catalog, the January to April mini catalog, and it comes with all these label dies. So even if you don't like the stamp set or the sentiments that the bundle comes with, I really recommend the dies because who doesn't love a bunch of labels? That one looks like it's going to be a little off. Let's see this one. Oh, that one fits perfectly. So we're going to use the first one I stamped, and it fits perfectly right in there. Now, I will say when I first came up with this card, I used this one in Cajun Craze to kind of mat on to this, but it blocked out too much of the carrot. So I just went with this one. So I'm going to die cut this out, clean up my desk here a little bit, and we can assemble our card. So I've got our sentiment cut out. Everything's put away and cleaned up. We are now ready to assemble. So I have a piece of Old Olive here that is 1/4 inch larger than this. It measures 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. We're just going to adhere, whoops, this to our Old Olive piece. All the measurements and supplies and everything you need to know about this card are on my blog. The link to this specific card is in the description of this video. I'm going to put that down there. And then I want to pop this one up, I think, onto our Cajun Craze cardstock over here. I'm just going to use about 5 dimensionals just to pop that up, give it a little bit of depth. Before I put it on, though, I don't want to put it on yet. I want to add some ribbon. So I have some ribbon from the Twill combo pack. It comes with Old Olive and Sahara Sand. I've already kind of cut it. Let me see where my bottom is. I'm going to add a little bit of seal. And you could use whatever adhesive you have. I used to use Scotch tape, but I can't seem to find my Scotch tape. So we're going to go with seal. I think I lost it somewhere around Christmas. Or I used it all. One or the other. Take off the backings for our dimensionals. And grab our Occasion Craze panel. And you know, I went a little bit high with those carrots, but that's okay. I've already tied a bow. So I have a bow here. If you've ever seen any of my videos, I'm not the greatest at bows. I usually speed up that part because sometimes my fingers don't work and it takes a really long time. So I just pre-tied this one. If you've never seen any of my videos before, hello and welcome. So happy to have you here. I'm bad at bows. So, and another tip I want to give you is sometimes the ribbon kind of moves around. You'll notice on this one it doesn't. That's because I took my paper piercer from the Take Your Pick tool. I grabbed a glue dot and just kind of slid it under that bow to hide it. Now you could put it over here. I just want to note that when you do that, it might show through depending on how thin the ribbon is. And this ribbon's kind of thin, so I just put it under the bow and now it doesn't really slide around as much. So I'm going to grab a couple of dimensionals for our sentiment. And then we can pop that onto our card. And I didn't want to cover the carrots up too much, and I also kind of wanted the bow to be overlapping. So I put it about there. And now let's put it on our card base, and then we can add our bling. And put some seal on this. You can use liquid glue for this, whatever you have. I prefer seal. It's not messy. I make a mess with liquid glue, so I need to fold this because I can't see that score line. There. I make a mess with liquid glue, so I prefer Stampin' Seal. And I'm just going to grab my bone folder really quick and burnish that. And for some bling, I'm going to grab one of these iridescent pearl basic jewels. And I'm going to use the bigger of the two. And put it right on our sentiment, right there in the middle. We're only using one today. And that is our card. So I hope you enjoyed this card today. I hope it inspired you to use your Thanks a Bunch stamp set if you already have it, or maybe to get the Thanks a Bunch stamp set if it's one of the ones that you might have overlooked. So I want to thank you so much for watching my video today. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see new videos every Monday, and I go live right here on Fridays. So I hope this inspired you. I hope you liked this card. Have a great week, and I will see you next time.